Last time on Fiction First.
Gentlemen, I fear that we're dealing with one of two things here. Magic users, or perhaps changelings or doppelgangers.
Are you three working the claw case? I don't think that's that's in really your wheelhouse. You guys kind of do like joke cases generally, right?
Whoa.
Like slimes and lacrosse monsters. Like this is ridiculous. You're coming in here and you're accusing me of murdering 3 Boromar clansmen?
Look, Victor, we know it wasn't you. My next question to you then is, who would hate you enough to impersonate you and attempt to frame you for murder?
At that moment, there's this like cracking of glass as a crossbow bolt flies through the balcony windows and pierces him in the shoulder.
Everybody get down!
Frank would understand that a gnoll and an ogre, and the way that they're kind of handling this kind of as like a very like organized strike force is that these are Dask operatives.
Yeah. We're just kind of like panic escaping, like we don't have a destination.
Yeah, like as you all like kind of like as the source like rises up into the night sky, and it's probably like the shot of like all of you just like sitting there like eyes wide and like not quite sure how to react to what just happened.
So, Victor, you were saying about people who don't like you.
Sure. Yeah. And so we can pick up wherever you guys want, whether you want to take him back to your office or pick up right there in the source sled or whatever you guys want to do.
We want to be soaring.
We have a dying man in our back seat.
Yeah, I like that. Let's start with some drama.
Do you want to pick right where we left off?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. So kind of driving over Sharn at night in the source sled, you're all there with Victor in the back, who I believe we had taken out the crossbow bolt, or did we leave it in? Did we make that decision?
I made sure that he was okay. I don't know if I ever healed him.
No, you didn't.
No, so
I remember you
I
distinctly...
should probably heal him.
You distinctly saying, like, nah, he's fine.
That's right.
Okay, so while we're up in the source sled, Frank, do you want to go ahead and attempt to administer some sort of aid?
Hey, Vic, stay with me, bud. Stay with me.
He's just kind of like staring blankly up into the sky, the night sky above him.
All right. And
Victor, you're not allowed to die until you give us some answers. Stay with us.
Is he bleeding back there on my car?
No, don't worry about it, Paxton.
Don't worry, I put some newspaper down.
Okay, because I can't have more blood in here.
There's probably like some fast food bags that you can kind of put him on top of to keep it from soaking in.
Yeah, so I'm going to do medic on him. So
okay, sure.
I'm going to make a first aid roll.
Go ahead and roll for medic.
Ooh, that's 11 plus 3, so 14.
Okay, yeah. So I never know the call to make, but I'm going to let you make the call because you rolled so well. So do you take the bolt in or out, or do you leave it in?
Oh, I pull it out.
Okay.
Actually, I push it through. I lift him.
God.
I mean, it's a crossbow bolt. It's not a full arrow. It's probably not all the way through him.
No, it's all the way through him. So I'm gonna go. Come here, buddy, and I'm gonna like kind of hug him forward towards me. I'm holding him, patting him on the back, and I like wrap my hand around the arrow on the other side. And I just.
You didn't break off the fletching first?
Nope.
He's pretty strong. He probably could like do that.
Yeah. I mean, hey, with that roll, that's
roll, yeah.
He's
he's stabilized and he's healed of 2 harms, so he feels great after that.
He is stabilized. I think he kind of is still kind of a little out of it for a little bit.
Yeah.
But he is feeling his life is not in any danger right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold it up in front of him and go, "This was inside you." You believe that?
He says, "I've had worse."
Really?
Oh my God.
All right, Victor. Dask, talk.
We have something to dask you about.
It's low-hanging fruit.
Look, I don't have a problem with the desk that I know of. I mean, no more than anyone else.
So why would they want to kill you?
I don't know.
Perhaps they heard that he was the Claw from the matter earlier, and because the Claw's been targeting Daskman as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, maybe they heard someone was investigating a Claw sighting and then followed them to my apartment.
Well, could be. To be fair, all the clues pointed towards you. So it seems like somebody's setting you up. It's not us, obviously.
Look, I've been involved in the Claw case for a while. I've been working on it and hitting dead ends and following up on leads, and perhaps I drew some attention.
Well, I mean, that's kind of your thing, drawing attention.
I don't know about that. I think that I get the job done in an acceptable fashion.
No, I think he means your attire, Victor.
You're showy. You're flashy. Yeah,
like I said, an acceptable fashion.
You dress like a ringmaster.
Yeah.
They told me that was a good thing.
All right, but so did any of your leads point to any changelings or doppelgangers or any illusion magic?
I mean, that's always possible, but with the changelings and doppelgangers, you never know. I mean, the Boromar, the Dask, they kind of run this city, but the tyrants, the changeling and the doppelganger organization, they're always there in the background, but you just never know what they're doing.
Yeah, they're always changing their mind about things.
Yeah, it could be a doppelganger, but we'd never know. The tyrants have a truce between the Boromar and the Dask. They're neutral in their conflict.
So perhaps a rogue agent?
I mean, maybe. The only actual bit of evidence that I haven't followed up on yet is the Blackstone Church, simply because it's too dangerous down there.
Yes, we did hear about that earlier. Well, seeing as how your apartment is fairly dangerous at the time as well, once you're feeling better, shall we, give it a go?
Perhaps right now it's a lovely night.
Right now, I'm still bleeding out right now.
No, you're fine.
You stuffed some gunk in my shoulder and you sprayed Windex on it. I don't think it's really helping. Windex. I think I still need to see some sort of medical professional.
Is there like an urgent care that's open this late anywhere? Or an emergency room? How does that work?
Magical doc in the box.
Your options are a House Jurasco clinic or...
The University Health Center never closes.
Oh, God.
He doesn't need condoms, Paxton.
I'm not a student. Listen, I can find medical attention. So if you want to go to Blackstone Church, you're just going to have to wait or go without me.
All right, fine. We'll take you to get medical attention. I mean, I'm telling you, your shoulder's fine. I mean, here, try and touch my hand.
Does he even try?
I need to see your range of movement.
I think, yeah, sure. So like he raises up his shoulder and like he winces, expecting pain, but like, that actually does feel pretty good.
I told you. Listen, if I've seen a bolt go into a guy once, I've seen it a million times. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. Just don't ask me to do your taxes.
God, no. Never making that mistake again.
Just imagining how entrusting tax work to Frank is really funny.
Right.
All right, so...
how many exceptions should I have?
Yeah. Are we an LLC?
Okay, so if you want to go to the church tonight, you can, and Victor will tag along because he is in good health now.
All right, yeah, I say let's do it.
Yeah, clock's ticking.
What clock are you talking about?
Well, I mean, things are ratcheting up towards a boiling point. I think we need to keep the momentum going.
I'll say, I've got a clock.
Yeah, I know you
have a clock.
Yeah, I know you have a clock. I can't afford a clock, okay? It's a metaphor.
We tell time by the sun.
That's right. A storied tradition.
That's right. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the Blackstone Church then.
I've never been this far down.
No, and you do not want to be in this place. I believe Varm is the one that told you about the Fallen District.
Yeah, Varm did.
He did,
initially. Fallen is the worst district in a very bad ward. It is in Lower Dura. A century ago, it was known as God's Gate, Sharn's premier temple district. But as the city grew, the primary temples relocated to the higher wards, and most of the important relics were taken to places like the Sovereign Towers. Some of the temples remained in service, but most were converted to serve as housing for workers in the Undercity and the factories below. For hundreds of years, the district slowly decayed, until the final blow came during the last war when an act of sabotage sent one of Sharn's floating citadels, known as the Glass Towers, falling down into the Dagger River, breaking apart as it went. A lot of these huge pieces of glass did go into the river, but a lot of it fell into God's Gate, just like destroying the district and killing hundreds of people. To this day, these huge shards of glass are still pierced into the ground and in through buildings and bisecting entire sections and streets of the district. The city council hasn't really done anything to take care of it, and there is even an unofficial practice to throw the clinically insane into this district and then let them fend just for themselves.
It's not cool.
Yes, there are rumors of ghosts of the people who died during Glassfall, kind of wandering at night. There has also been the appearance of a group known as the Ravers. Not a very good name, but that is what they have been called, strictly because of the terrible sounds that they make. They appeared after Glassfall, and whether they were the people there before changed in some way, or if they were a group of people that came up from the Undercity as a result of Glassfall, that's not really known. They're difficult to pin down, and they're also very dangerous. So there are very few people that live in this district, even fewer that have any sort of operating business. It's kind of a ruin more than it is a city district. So Paxton has never been down here. No. People do not go down here. But here you are, taking in the soar sled over the district at night. So you see just a few scant people kind of walking quickly between buildings, a couple of eyes staring out at you from kind of broken windows in the buildings. Is there anything that you want to do beforehand, or do you just want to head right to the church? Or anything you want to talk about as a group?
Yeah, so we got a tip that this guy might be operating out of the Blackstone Church from a particular dealer. Where did you get your tip from, Vic?
I pieced it together after kind of going through numerous testimonies of witnesses and victims of the attacks, and kind of, pinpointing the area around which the claw works. You said you heard it from some guy?
I put it together, but
yeah, well,
I did the grunt work. You just heard it from some mook on the streets?
No, hey, he's like a CI, he's an informant, if you will.
Okay.
We had some leverage on him, we'll put it that way.
Sure, okay, well, fine. I mean, I guess it all works out, but yeah, so that's how I heard about it.
Interesting.
I'm sure the Boromar and the Dusk also have heard about that, but like I said, it's not an appealing thing to look into.
Yeah. Do you think that the claws might be a part of some religious sect that's down here, since they operate out of a church?
I mean, maybe no one really knows where they came from or what they do. A lot of them hole up in the Blackstone Church and kind of wander around the district as a whole. But there's not a whole lot known about what they actually do down here.
Yeah.
Wait, he was just talking about the claw.
Oh, the claw. I thought we were talking about the Ravers.
No.
Sorry, what was your question?
I was saying, is the claw like perhaps motivated by some sort of religious code, something like that? Because if I remember the facts of the case correctly, he's only murdered gang members.
Yes.
Not like average Joes.
That seems to be his serial killer's intent.
That's correct. The Boromar and the Dusk have been the only targets that I'm aware of.
So again, no tyrants.
No.
Good point.
But again, it's difficult to tell if they were going to be targets. The tyrants and the changelings, they share identities. Sometimes you'll talk to one person under a certain name, and you can talk to the same name again, but it's a different person. Their communities are very difficult to pin down and know what they're doing. But as far as them having the claw having any sort of religious motivation, I mean, it's possible. It might just also be a really good safe house.
True.
Well,
if they can go unnoticed.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if it's more the vigilantism aspect, or perhaps it's destabilizing agent in the gang war. These are the two strongest theories we have so far, I believe.
It's true. Either would make sense, but we're not going to find out any more floating up here. Paxton, bring us around.
Zoom, zoom.
I've always wanted to say that.
That's the new soar sled noise.
No, that's the U-turn.
Oh.
The soar sled's a little under the weather right now.
What gave it away? I didn't fill her up. I didn't know we were going to the bottom of the city today.
Yeah. I mean, this is the job you signed up for, that you interned for.
Yeah. I don't think it's fair to call it a job because there is no money involved.
Okay.
But there's work.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Ego job.
Yeah. So as you all head to the Blackstone Church, it is a kind of a decrepit site. Like I said, the whole district looks like a ruin rather than an actual place in a city, where people otherwise live and then thrive and work and are happy. This place is just desolate in comparison. The Blackstone Church, for a long time, was the last functioning church in the fallen district. Is it a Church of the Silver Flame, run by a small group of priests and priestesses that have long been driven out now at this point. The Blackstone Church is kind of this, I mean, I like to imagine it's kind of like a classical European looking church, tall stone walls. And
what color is the stone?
Like a faded gray.
You're not a dwarf.
Well, no, I'm saying, is it Blackstone?
That's actually a fair point. Why would it be called Blackstone? Yeah, it's Blackstone.
There we go. Well, I was going to make a joke if it wasn't like, huh, weird.
Yeah. But
Obsidian.
kind of like but that kind of black stone facade just kind of blends in with the darkness of this district, because it's a lower district to begin with, and there's just not a lot of life and light happening inside. There are huge shards of glass, talking like 50, 60 feet high shards of glass. They're just like just piercing into the church's roof and in through the side, and like there's just like, and even smaller bits and pieces to where you can just see that the glass tower shattered and just rained glass shards down on this district. So yeah, as you kind of get the soar sled to a decent distance and height above it, there's darkness. There's not a whole lot of signs of life here. So what do you want to do?
So we don't see any like light coming from inside?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Is there so you said there's glass like piercing the ceiling. Are there any areas that look like, maybe holes we could peek down through or anything?
That sounds like a good time for read about situation to me.
All right.
Ooh, I can do that.
So that's sharp.
That is another 14.
Whoa.
Let Mark handle that.
Jeez.
Rolls today.
Okay, so that's 3 questions off the read about situation list.
Let me find that. First one, are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
So that can kind of be explained as like maybe you're taking the source like kind of like in like a perimeter around it and kind of like on like an upper floor, kind of looking in through these broken tall windows or like stained glass windows that they would have been. Looking in and kind of peeking in through the broken parts of them, and you see kind of like a big hole in the center of the floor of the church, just like a big like sinkhole. And from within that hole, you see faint flickerings of light, of orange light coming from the hole underneath the church.
Okay.
As well as probably some sounds of screaming and raving.
Raving, you say?
Of a sort.
Of a sort.
A specific sort of raving.
Some might call it raving.
Not the fun kind.
Gotcha.
Kind of like more gnashing of teeth kind of
Just
raving.
imagining the like rave scenes in the Matrix sequels.
And
who knows? Maybe if you go down that hole, you might find out.
What's the best way in?
The best way in is is kind of like a section where the glass did like kind of bisect this building and kind of like opens up the roof into like a very nice kind of sloped entrance into the top level, seemingly where like the attic would be.
Okay. And I'm gonna hold my last one for
okay
future badness.
Fair enough.
All right.
Sounds good. So what do you want to do now?
All right, gents, there appear to be some folks down there. There's a bit of a sinkhole in the middle. I would wager ravers from, the raving.
I should have thought of it. I should have just used a different name. This is their official name, but I should have made up a different name, I feel like.
Because they're raving mad.
Yeah. But I think there's a way we can get in there at the top and hopefully still keep a height advantage. Hype advantage.
Gotta keep your hype advantage over the ravers.
Yeah.
It's tough.
I know, that's what I was thinking.
Man, it's hard to... without all that ecstasy in you, it's just hard to stay as hyped.
It's hard to stay at that level.
Still maintain a height advantage. So, Paxton, drop us down right over there. Man, this thing is just in a bad way.
Yeah, you need to take that into the shop.
What in the world? I'm doing my best.
Okay, and so Victor's still there with you, and he's like, I am a little bit worried about going in there, but I'll let you guys take point,
I thought we only worked on kitty mysteries, Vic.
Oh, what, the big scary holes?
I didn't say kitty mysteries. I said joke mysteries.
He did. It's I don't stand up for you often, Victor, but he did in fact say joke victories, or joke mysteries, not victories.
Yeah, joke mysteries. Sure, they're dangerous, but they're kind of silly gag mysteries.
Well, how about this one?
Well, it has yet to be seen.
Yeah, if they're all willing.
If the claw's a poison tiger, I think it might still qualify as a gag mystery.
Yeah, just wait. We're going to get down there. They're all going to be wearing roller skates. Still scary. They've got a speed advantage, but
dangerous, but yes.
But goofy.
Silly.
Indeed.
Yeah. All right. We'll see.
All right. Well, perhaps before we sneak down in there, maybe we could cause a distraction and draw them out and then sneak in and investigate.
We could do that.
Seems like a better idea than going into a closed space with them.
What if we drove through the glass? High octane surprise.
Just crash in.
Did I get any sense of like how many there were down there?
Not really. It seems to be a sizable amount of people, but it just kind of sounded like a bunch of people yelling and screaming. So
if I've learned anything from my role model Jason Statham, it's that we have to go hard and fast.
Even with giving them a bit of a shock, I don't feel good about our chances to take them all.
Also, just as a point of clarification, what you're looking at right now, where this glass kind of goes into the roof, it goes and seemingly lands into an actual like constructed piece of flooring in the attic. So you're not like going in through the glass and then down and staring at the hole in the middle of the floor. You're still like on a floor above all that.
But can we like peek over the edge and see into the hole a bit?
No, not at this point.
Okay.
This attic seemingly is
enclosed.
Is enclosed and it's still seemingly intact. So this section of the glass and the roof leads into a totally separate section than what you're looking at before. You were looking into a hole in the center proper of like the altar and like the whatever.
Well, I like the idea of crashing the soar sled, but then I don't know how we're going to get out of here.
Yes.
It would cause a great distraction. They'd be like, oh, what's that noise? And then, oh, free car. But then getting back up is always a predicament in this city.
You'd have to walk. Find a fantasy elevator.
Or Paxton, another idea. You drop us off. You go fly out front. Bang on the door of the church. When they start coming, you're in the soar sled, and you get away before any of them can catch you.
Yeah,
we've got a bit of a time window.
I can use the panic button again.
Hope they don't have any harpoons.
Is that a thing?
No, of course not. Of course not.
You never know.
What'd you say?
I don't really want to be down here alone.
Tell you what, Victor, why don't you stay with Paxton?
I don't like Victor.
Well,
Yeah, I don't want to stay with this kid.
well, all right, there we are. Everyone's out in the open now.
Honestly, I'm cool with just leaving Victor down here and leaving.
We're really going to have to work on your subtlety. So
Look, if you guys are if you are cool, strong detectives, like let's go in the roof. Let's go.
that means you're with us, right?
Fine. If we're gonna see, otherwise we're just here on this roof all night.
So that's a no, Paxton.
Okay.
This isn't the kind of rooftop party you usually find yourself at, Victor.
Well, I didn't bring my cane with me, and typically, there's a lot more interesting people to talk to, but I'll live with it.
Do we still have the other cane?
You probably do, yeah.
All right, I toss it at him and go, here, just use this.
He grabs it, snatches it, and kind of looks at it oddly, but he'll take it.
All right, let's go in. Let's creep up to that edge.
Okay, who's gonna lead?
I'll lead.
Cool. So kind of, it's like kind of thing where you kind of have to like slide / like kind of crawl down to this piece of like glass that has this kind of like greenish tinge to it, but is otherwise like just dirty and covered in grime. To like you can kind of see your reflection in it at points, but a lot of it is kind of really dirty. And like we said, the glass leads into the solid floor of the attic of the church. How do you want to go about this? It's dark. There's no lights. It kind of leads into this small hallway.
Have we healed it all since the last adventure?
Like since the last session, or the last session? No, because it's
we
been,
came straight.
Yeah, it's been 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's been.
I'll tell you what. Another thing that you see in this kind of dark hallway is more glass. But kind of like 4 different shards that pierce this hallway in like 5 different places, kind of creating a little bit of a labyrinth obstacle. Yeah. Except for like a very small corner to where like a small, thinner person could make it through.
So not Frank.
Maybe not easily.
Could Howland fit?
Potentially.
Okay.
It's gonna take some doing, and the like you see the edges on this glass is sharp.
I need to heal myself up a bit before we start to party, because I've been carrying that 3 damage since the tornado.
You would have healed from.
I healed a little bit, but like that was,
So you want to like do medic on yourself?
I guess if anything's going down, I don't want to immediately be unstable.
It would take some time for you to do so.
All right, let's just roll then.
Okay.
All right. I guess I'm gonna try to squeeze through the small area.
Okay, squeeze through.
Wait, who's smaller, you or Paxton?
I mean,
I am nimble and athletic.
Yeah, but I'm just generally slight. Got that elf blood, yo.
You got muscles though, so.
Right, I am ripped.
Yeah. So Howland, you giving it a shot?
Yeah.
Go ahead and act under pressure for me.
Great.
Get him, Uncle Howland.
As I said, it's a small space. You could potentially fit through it, but
it's an 8.
It's gonna take some gentle squeezing.
It's an 8. I
total of 8. Okay.
Gently squeeze. You said act under pressure, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. So you take 1 harm as you go through, as you kind of get stuck on one of the edges and kind of have to like force your way through, and it kind of like just like draws the edge across your arm and actually leaves a huge gash in your coat.
Oh, not the first.
Yeah, not the first. The coat takes the brunt of it, but a little bit does get into your arm and kind of leave blood dripping down your arm. It's kind of like you crawl out, kind of like army crawl out and kind of make it through the glass, and then you get up. And then you stop short and you see that there's a tripwire like right across your foot on the other side of it.
Like my foot is like it's on top of my foot?
Not quite on top, but just not just right in front of you.
Okay. Is there enough space to just step over it?
There is.
I mean, looking around, do I see what that might be connected to?
Yeah. You see very like small holes in the wall next to you. There seems to be something sharp inside them, kind of like on a wall to your right.
It's like Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's the little
yeah.
And then beyond that, kind of after you've gotten past the glass and can see, you can kind of see into a larger attic space to where this hallway opens up into some sort of storage space. You still see this like refracting light bouncing off of glass, but it's actually a lot more natural lighting. So there seems to be some other source of light through some like broken beams up at the top. Not enough for a person to fit through, but the light kind of bounces into this attic and then just kind of bounces all around.
Okay. So coming through that way, did I get a sense that like, I mean, other people won't be able to fit? Like, will I have to make a way for everyone else?
Potentially, yeah. Okay. I mean, it's going to be much more difficult for Frank
and
Paxton to get in that way.
And the tripwire is just right in front of the little corridor I just came out of, right?
Right. Okay. You get out of the glass and then the tripwire is raised right in front of you.
Are they close enough that I feel like I can tell them that I see a tripwire without being too loud?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think just a couple of feet of glass between you and you can kind of speak into the little hole or something if you want.
Be like, all right, there's a tripwire right on the other side of this corridor, but don't worry, I'm going to try to find another way for you.
Can you disarm it?
I mean, yes.
Yeah.
But are you even going to come this way? That might be pointless.
Fair.
Let me look around a little bit first.
All right.
Stand by. And yeah, I'm going to, I guess, kind of peek around the corner to where the light's coming from.
Okay.
Kind of step over the tripwire.
Yeah. You step over the tripwire and just move a little bit further down into the hallway to where it opens up into this larger room. And so this larger room opens up, and I said still a lot of glass shards piercing through. And these are tall, like that go from like floor to ceiling.
Oh, wow.
Kind of scattered around. You see some signs that someone is living here. You see a bedroll in the corner. You see some personal effects, some pieces of clothing, kind of scattered styles, maybe even a purple coat or two, or something like that. What do you do? Still have another question. Also, remember if you want to ask it. Right.
So now that I'm in a different situation, is it possible to ask the same question again from my...
That's a good question.
Like if I wanted to ask, are there any dangers I haven't noticed now? Or is that inappropriate?
I think that's fine if you want to go for that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to first do that.
Okay. What was the question again? Sorry.
Are there any dangers I haven't noticed now in this vicinity?
Right. I think you kind of step in and see everything that's going on, and then maybe as you're thinking about like turning back to go let everyone else know, you hear a voice coming from inside that room. Kind of a slight voice, kind of talking in very low, saying, yeah, there were 3 more tonight, and I don't know how much more time these distractions are going to buy us. Once the Killick knows that it's me, if he doesn't already, then that's it.
What was the name it just said?
Kilk.
Killick. Like from Soul Calibur?
Without the second I, so Kilk.
Oh, Kilk. Okay. Like silk with a K.
Yeah.
Okay.
Off-brand silk.
Yeah. Kilk milk.
Yeah. So that's a name you heard, but you don't know anything about that name.
Okay. Is it a man's voice, woman's voice?
It's difficult to tell.
Okay. I don't pick up
and you don't see this person also.
I don't pick up like an accent. Like this is a halfling's accent or
no, not at all.
Like that. Okay.
Typical halfling accent.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, I'm a halfling.
That's a halfling accent, and the orc accent is Italian.
New York Italian.
I'm gonna break your bones.
God. Okay. I'm just gonna stand by and like listen for a second and see if I get anything else.
So like you hear that voice, and then there's nothing for 15-20 seconds. Then the voice speaks again, seemingly answering something, saying, we forced Kavala's hand, but they still fear the halflings, and the Dask will only send the bare minimum to ensure secrecy. Now that gumshoe's a target, I should have more breathing room.
Crap.
What do you do?
Ooh.
Knock on the door. Knock on the door.
There's no door.
I'm not trying to get straight murdered right now.
Excuse me, do you happen to know the way?
Oh, I'm lost. No. How have I found myself
Little
here?
boy's room.
Cursed wizard teleporting me here.
It's a common excuse. And Fanny's like, oh, that wizard teleported me here again.
First thing I know, I'm in a wizard's tower. Next thing I know, I'm here. Okay, it's okay. When I stepped out, I didn't see any portion of a person's body. Okay.
No.
And effects around the room, you said I saw a bedroll. Mm-hmm. I saw...
various pieces of clothing.
Okay. I'm going to try as stealthily and moving as little at a time as possible, try to get in a position where I can maybe see where the voice is coming from.
Okay.
I'm going to regret this so hard.
I think that's an act under pressure. because like what you're doing is that like you can hear the voice kind of generally emanating from behind these shards of glass that are just cutting through this room. And like this room, unlike a lot of the pieces that you've seen so far, like the shards create kind of a labyrinth in this room, with twists and turns and tight spaces and angles that are uncomfortable to move through. So like you would need to attempt to sneakily move through that and attempt to locate whoever this is. Just for context, it's almost like this is some sort of like den or lair or something like that. You know.
All right.
What are you gonna do? You gonna do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Act under pressure for me.
Now, question: do I have any advantages from any of my +1 going forward from my read a bad situations earlier?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, I think the question you spent in this room, with spending the time to listen and kind of get the sense of what they're doing and when they're talking and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Oh! Not gonna help me out a lot.
What's that?
That is
what you got there.
That is a 6 total.
Ooh.
Is this the time to luck it up?
Are you hurt?
Yes, I have two pains.
I have 2 hurties.
might be a potential luck situation.
Yeah, I'm gonna burn a luck.
Okay, there we go. Fair enough. Is that the first luck point you used?
That is the first, because I was using it earlier as my health on accident. So this is actually the first one that I've used.
Well, good. Yeah,
they're right above each other on the sheet, dear listener.
You're fine then. If that's the first one, that's no big deal. You got a lot left. So yeah. So with a full success on that, kind of surprisingly, Howen does like very sneakily like kind of sidle through.
He's as surprised as anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it's a very like tense, quiet moment where you're kind of having to move through these, like I said, uncomfortable positions and angles and kind of getting closer. You haven't heard any other talking really after what you initially heard, but eventually you do kind of move through this maze and do actually manage to get an angle and look kind of behind a lot of the glass, and you do see a one figure kind of hunched over in like on the floor. They wear this dark cloak. And you kind of get the slight angle that you can kind of see their face and their hair. You see them kind of like messing with this earring on their ear, this silver earring with this dark stone in it that has these bright veins of red running through it. It seems very fancy, but the face and that you see is Victor's.
Still in Victor form, but the voice very much so not Victor.
Very much so not Victor. Okay. So you managed to get that angle and kind of get a quick glimpse of them. What do you do now?
God.
Can you use like the far stone? What is it? Send stone? You walkie-talkie
us? One of those? Oh, I mean, from this close, that seems like a bad idea.
I don't think that we have one of those.
No, yeah. I mean, Kyle keeps making jokes about like giving people their numbers, but I don't think that we actually have that ability.
They can be as common as we want.
Remember that they're more like pagers. Yeah. They're more like fantasy pagers.
That's right.
What are you gonna do?
I'm backing out.
Okay.
I'm retreating.
Okay, that's fine. I think with the full success of the first roll, I think you can get out of there quickly.
Cool.
And then so you can kind of go back to that wall of glass that separated you, step over the tripwire.
Yeah.
You want to go back on the other side to see them? Okay.
Yeah. You gonna make me do that again?
No. Okay. No. I think it's fine for now.
Sweet.
So I guess everyone else just was waiting patiently on the other side.
Yeah.
Or impatiently.
Where have you been? You had me worried sick.
Well, I've got good news and middling news, I suppose.
All right, tell me the middling news.
The middling news... Well, I've got to kind of tell you the good news first. The good news is I'm pretty sure the claw is over there.
All right.
Pretty sure I saw the claw. Bad news is, Victor, they were still wearing your face.
It's a good face.
I mean, yeah, I don't really know how to process that.
Wait. How do we wear someone's face?
Oh, figure of speech, and either a changeling, a doppelganger, or some sort of illusion magic.
I mean, a cut right about here, behind the ear, cut behind that other ear.
Right.
I mean, I've seen Hannibal.
No.
The play.
The play, yes. The popular
the play
Hannibal, yes.
Hannibal, aka Silence of the Lambs.
Right.
The play, yeah.
The
Lambs,
serial
be silent.
play, the TV show Hannibal.
Yeah.
That version. So Victor's like, yeah, even if it is me, let's go in there. Let's take him down. Let's bring him in.
Yeah, I like the sound of that.
All right. But
Let's go bash some heads.
are you a detective or a...
We tried the scalpel. Let's bring the hammer. And I high five Vic. I'm like, I like this side of you.
yeah, he high fives.
Did he have his pets in there?
Oh, no, I'm very sorry. I don't think the poison tigers are present right now. They're probably on a walk.
Well, that's probably a good thing, though, because we...
Yeah, that's...
Well, I mean, maybe he just didn't see him yet.
Oh,
you know?
God,
True.
yeah.
Victor, I did want to ask you, though, are you familiar with the names Kilk or Kavala?
Kilk, no, but Kavala, yeah. And Frank would also be familiar with the name Kavala. She is the leader of the Dask in Sharn.
Excuse me? Did you say Kavala?
I think I had a
Yes.
class with her.
She is
She was auditing.
the head honcho ogre of the Dask in Sharn.
Help me remember what I overheard them say about...
Yeah, what did they say about Kavala?
They said that they forced Kavala's hand, but the Dask will still only send the bare minimum to ensure secrecy.
Ah, so they are trying to start a gang war.
Or something. Again, didn't really get a lot of information, but again, the name Kilk came up.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird name. It's probably not a human name, but I mean, never know.
Yeah. So, all right. I mean, if you boys want to go in there guns blazing, I mean, be my guest, but, that's not really my bag, so...
Victor's like, yeah, but how do we get through?
I've got an idea.
What you got?
Oh, color me curious.
So we get back in the soar sled. We zoom slightly forward over to where you heard the voices. And we drop down through the ceiling. Let's make some noise.
Well,
The Jason Statham method, yes!
Yeah.
Hard and fast.
we do have a pinpoint on the claw's location. Well, the presumed claw, I should say.
We go in. We hit him hard. We get out of here.
I like the last part. Let's do that.
Yeah, I like that idea. It's cool.
Let's do it.
All right,
Zoom,
cool.
zoom.
All right.
On board with that?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So
Uncle Frank, can I use my gun on this one?
You have a gun?
Kyle, you're aware this is a fantasy setting.
Yeah, no.
He has a crossbow.
No, it's a small handgun
Yeah.
on the sheet.
All right, you're aware we're altering
Damn
this
it.
modern setting RPG into a fantasy setting,
Okay,
right?
can I use my crossbow for this one?
Yeah, you can, buddy.
I keep it in the glove box.
They do have gloves, so that works.
that checks out. Yeah.
That one checks out.
Yeah. So you kind of open up the glove compartment and pull out the small hand crossbow that you keep for special occasions.
I like to imagine that it's kind of like not an
tricked out.
automatic. It's a semi-automatic. So it'll fire the clips like per squeeze. It'll just load the next arrow.
Bolts in, like,
Yeah.
Or it's just like it has two loaded at a time.
Yes.
So like
Perfect.
could shoot both of them. Sure.
Some tricked out gear for...
Yeah. Where did Paxton get that?
Oh, my parents got it for me one summer when I tried archery.
Okay.
It didn't
And
pan
failed,
out.
so they give you a crossbow?
No, I just kept it. Like lacrosse was the next thing when I found my calling.
So they were kind of trying to get you to be like a competitive shooter.
Well, they just wanted me out of the house.
Okay.
Is that what happened this summer?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So Paxton takes up the soar sled. So like how is it? How do we want to do this? I'm imagining like, do you want to like just go up and then straight down, or do you want to come down at an angle? And
is there any like sort of there's no there aren't windows.
No,
really,
you'd be
right?
going like straight through the roof.
Yeah, I think
it
we
is
just-
kind of patched and stuff where
Yeah.
light is falling
I think
through.
we look for the weakest part of the roof and we just nose
And
down.
a point where there's not obvious glass that we're going to skew ourselves on?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Everybody
Okay.
hold tight.
Okay, I do need an act under pressure roll from Paxton for this to
no.
pilot this because
You
like
want me to drive, buddy,
No, I got it.
so that you can keep your hands on your
You're
crossbow?
good at act under
You
pressure.
don't have your license, Uncle Frank.
Not since the incident. It's been some years.
I've driven you around this entire summer.
I mean he's got good cool.
I do have good cool.
Wait.
What?
Run that by me again?
I do have good cool.
Sweet.
Now, what kind of roll do I make again?
Roll and add your cool.
one.
An act under pressure. That's
Yes.
2d6, correct?
Yes.
All right, here. That didn't count.
Sure.
Here's my roll. Ooh, that's a 12, baby.
Nice.
Good, cool.
All right. So the thing is, like, you like crashing through the roof and you kind of have to avoid the glass. But like, Kyle, do you have any style you want to add to this as you pilot this?
Yes.
Put some stank on it.
Okay.
Buckle up, everybody.
So we all buckle up. I pull the soar sled above the thatched roof is what I'm imagining. It's got like a weak portion. So I turn off the gravity boosters, which are keeping us in the air.
Okay.
And
Disengage.
we free fall.
Ooh.
We free fall from approximately maybe 30 feet above the roof.
Okay.
We get enough momentum to smash through. We smash through. The debris goes falling. You hear the screams from this claw and his minions below. And as we free fall, I wait till about halfway down. When I flip the gravity boosters back on, I kick it into ignition, and then you just see like the flames from the soar sled like flame out the side, and we descend at a screeching stop, like, and then perfect like thwack on the ground.
Yeah.
Hopefully landing on someone. Hopefully landing on top of someone is the goal.
I was like, Frank did the thing, the like Born Identity thing, where you take the seatbelt and you like pull it way out and like hold it over yourself. They're always doing that in car chase movies.
I don't know that.
I don't know if it would actually help, but that's what they do.
I don't know that, and I don't know what that does, but
I mean,
sure.
You know what I'm talking about? They do it when they roll.
We'll have to fact check that.
We're gonna
later.
rewatch the Bourne movies.
Yeah, we'll have to go watch that
back.
and check that out. But yeah, so it's a completely successful maneuver. So yeah, like almost exactly like Kyle said it happened.
Yes.
So yeah, like you do like re-engage the gravity boosters or whatever that this car functions off of, and then like kind of like hover perfectly right above the floor of the attic, and probably do like kind of like spin and like donut and like crash into some glass and just send it shattering. But the source light is totally fine, and like the light bounces off all from within the area. But basically, you find yourself kind of mostly now you crash a little bit into the maze, but mostly on the interior side of the maze, where Howard had to crawl through. Can
I scream?
Scream?
Yeah, as soon as we land, I want to go, it's time to dance!
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah, so you kind of park on one side and the source sled settles.
But not right above where they were. Or where they were, but they're not there anymore.
Where they were, but
no bodies under the source sled.
You hear no bodies under the source sled, but you do hear footsteps.
Approaching?
I'm going to turn towards the footsteps and I'm going to get my crossbow ready.
Are they invisible?
You hear footsteps above you.
Huh?
Are they airwalking?
Looking up, you see a figure walking on the roof above you, kind of upside down, kind of sprinting for an escape.
I'm going to shoot at him.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to kick some ass.
It's a 9.
Okay. So how much harm does your crossbow or whatever?
Yeah, 2 harm.
All right.
I'll try and shoot them in the leg. If that's, can you aim?
Yeah, sure.
Scenario. So they can't run.
Well, that actually works perfectly with what I had in my head. With the mixed success, they're really in no place to harm you. From this right now,
but they fall on your head.
But you shoot and you nail the individual right in like the back of the leg or whatever as they're running on top of the roof or on top of the ceiling. And the crossbow bolt makes an impact, but you hear kind of like ping off of some kind of armor and it doesn't stick. But it knocks them off balance and they tumble and fall and crash down into one of the glass shards into the middle of the maze right now. And you've lost sight of them.
Ooh! Ouch.
Did that kill them?
We don't know.
Don't know. You don't have visual anymore. They crash into the middle of this glass maze.
Can I just
my labyrinth. Go into the labyrinth.
I go, Vic, cover my 6. And I want to look around for something that could break glass. Because I'm going in like a bull in a china shop.
Literally.
Can't you just punch through it?
Well, I mean, it is pretty thick. This glass was used to construct buildings in the past. You could potentially find something in there. I'm curious as to what that would be. I mean, do you have any ideas?
Yeah, is there actual stone? Like chunks of actual stone, since we're in a stone church that the glass is pierced because it came
Yeah,
from such
probably
a
a
high
part
height.
where like a roof or a nearby building collapsed into the roof a long time ago,
Yeah.
and there's just rubble
Some
in there.
sort of like medium-sized boulder.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
want to take it and I want to just try and like
Okay.
I want to just throw it
Throw it.
aggressively
Shot
forward
put it
through. Yeah.
through.
Like not even try and bash, just like throw it.
Yeah, you don't want to like physically like be near it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my goal.
Okay. I think probably just an act under pressure for that would do.
All right.
Ooh,
That is
nice.
a 13.
Wow.
You rolled a 10.
Okay. So yeah, you just throw it and it crashes through like multiple panes of this thick glass just with this huge force, and kind of does make a little bit of a passageway that you can move through. Still a little bit tight, and then just like through the clearing that you've made through the glass, you do see Victor on the other side in this dark hood. Kind of like look up and stare at you. What did someone else want to do?
Yeah.
As soon as I see that, I'm just going to throw a throwing knife
Okay.
at him,
Cool.
which I have, but I also have a -1 to tough. So
Cool.
let's
Go
see what
ahead.
happens.
Roll to kick some ass.
That is a 6.
Oh, so
6.
close.
Whoops.
You need a 7 for anything good to happen.
Yeah, it is just short of a success. So you throw the knife, the dagger through this hole that Frank created, and it kind of spins through, and you just see the Victor on the other side, the claw on the other side. I'm just kind of like reach up a hand, and you see like this like thick meaty human hand kind of like fade and turn into something else, and it turns into this giant black steel claw that just like snatches the dagger out of the air, and they go and they take it in their other hand and just throw it right back at you,
On its way back, I just go, oh, bugger.
and it sticks you right in the shoulder. So how much harm does your dagger do?
Just 1 harm.
Okay, cool. You take that 1 harm for that
So bad.
for that failure, and then they throw the dagger back, and then they just run back behind a piece of the glass that you do not have visual on. Again.
I just like pull it out of my shoulder and I was like, this is why I don't do things this way. You bloodthirsty maniacs.
I go, Victor, any ideas? Was he covering
it's
my
my
6
turn.
after I asked him to?
Well, yeah. I mean, it kind of in theory, like he has this cane that he just kind of has up, kind of holding.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Paxton.
So I am gonna kick the soar sled back into gear and go up top
Okay.
to like look down on the maze
Okay.
and kind of follow him, see where he's going.
That might be a little bit difficult because again, these panes of glass are floor to ceiling. So there's no real way to maneuver above it because they fell down and then crashed through the roof and stuck through the ground.
You'd
So,
have to be above the roof.
yeah.
Can I drive through them?
You can attempt to, yes.
All right, I'm gonna
Oh, God.
crash the soar sled straight through. See if I can.
I mean, this is
drive through
definitely.
it. What kind of roll is that?
I think it's another. I don't know. It's like I don't know how you can do this better. Like I don't know how you
Well,
can roll into it better. There can be consequences and results, but
how about could we take one of those rocks and put it on the accelerator so you aren't in the car in case this goes awry and don't get a piece of glass through your chest?
that's an interesting thing. Like you could do that. The soar sled would probably be gone.
Oh, I can't lose my car.
Like, because it would not stop if it succeeds, it would not stop. But you would not be in harm's way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna risk it.
Okay, go for it. Go ahead and roll to act under pressure.
And I guess we're all still in the car?
I'm gonna risk it.
Well,
No,
I mean,
we
I
hopped
mean-
out when we
yeah,
were fighting.
Okay.
Unless you want to be in the car.
Nope, sure don't.
Can I use my what could go wrong perk?
What does that do?
Whenever you charge into immediate danger without hedging your bets, hold 2. You may spend your hold on other options.
I think that makes sense.
Purposely crashing your car.
Yeah,
I
what could
think
go
that,
wrong?
that checks out. So go ahead and
Let's roll 2. Oh, baby. That's a 13 because I have good cool.
all right, awesome. Yeah, so
Now, wait. So does holding 2 mean I -2 from that 13?
no.
No, it means you can hold it and use it.
Cool.
Does it give you an option for stuff to use that hold for?
Inflict 1 harm, reduce someone's harm by 1, or take 2 + 2 forward on an act under pressure roll.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you have basically 2 points, and you can spend 1 point to do one of those things going forward.
Okay.
So just whenever you want to do that. Whenever it's relevant. So yeah, Paxton just floors it, takes the soar sled through all these like panes of glass that are separating you and the claw right now. And like the soar sled is like wrecked after this. Like,
Oh.
I mean, like
Drivable?
the front end of it. questionably drivable.
It was used to begin with, so
Yeah, I mean, the front end is like after these repeated impacts through these thick panes of glass, like this isn't like movie theater like sugar glass, like this is like thick, heavy stuff.
Yeah.
So like they're also like small shards just like sticking in through the headlights and into the interior seats and stuff like that. But like you kind of skirt through and break through, and we just kind of see Paxton there just like totally fine somehow.
whoa! I can't believe that worked.
I look at Victor. I go, what can I say? The Turners were a bunch of hammers.
And Howard's just got his face in his hands.
But at that point, Paxton, I mean, you see the claw leaps up into the air, or it's like rather like falls up from the ceiling down on top of your car, on top of the source sled, and is like right on the hood of the roof, and it's like reaching its claw to strike you.
Can I use my hold on the inflict +1 harm? Can I say that he landed on a piece of glass that he didn't expect to be there?
I think you have to use that as a part of inflicting harm. So
You could
So
pick
you would
up
have
a
to-
piece of
yeah.
glass in your fear and go, ah!
Okay.
And hold it
Oh
up.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, if you want to do something like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna recoil in fear, and like
Thank you for specifying.
yeah, I'm
Classic.
going to recoil in fear.
Recoil in bravery, like you do.
I'm going to recoil in bravery, and yeah, I'm just gonna kind of duck and like
Okay.
try to avoid being hit, and I'm gonna say that on his swing he scratches himself on a piece of glass.
Scratches.
you still have to do something actual.
damn
You could kick with your feet, like and like shoot, like
Yeah.
There's glass.
Like,
all
you're gonna
over
have to
you.
roll
I'm
to-
sure there's glass all over the dashboard.
Oh, okay.
You got your crossbow also.
Okay,
in
how
your
about
hand.
this? How about this? So instead of recoiling in bravery, how about I tense up and my foot hits the gas pedal again and kind of shoots
and
him
he,
off
like,
the edge, yeah,
falls
and
forward.
kind of shoots the claw off the hood of the car. Come on, throw me a bone.
I think instead of falling backwards, you're going forward. He would fall forward, like, whoop,
Oh, into the car. You're right.
like if this worked perfectly,
Yeah.
he would go like head first into the seat. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, like all the way over?
The clarifying question, is this to do harm and to inflict extra harm, or is this to get him off of the car and get you away from him?
I want to say it's a reaction to his attack.
so the second part.
So
Yeah.
to get away.
Yeah.
Okay, and to like make him fall off. Okay, cool. Go ahead and act under pressure again.
Okay.
And I mean, I would assume we're kind of running that direction this whole
Yeah,
time.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I am. For
whatever
sure.
you say you do next, you're there.
I am for sure. That's my nephew.
I'm
Okay.
consciously behind Frank.
That is a 7 + 2, so a 9
Noise.
And you can use your hold one from earlier.
to add a.
Because he didn't add to one of the things
Yeah.
was you can add two to a
Okay.
roll.
That's something.
Yeah, I'll use those +2 on my act under pressure.
What exactly does that +2 say? Sorry.
Take +2 forward on an act under pressure roll.
Perfect. Yeah.
It's an 11.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So full success. So yeah, like as soon as like they're about to throw their claw down and like rake across your chest, you floor it and they just go like tumbling and flying over the hood and like off of the back bumper and like just kind of crash onto the floor. You kind of sail forward into the wall or something
Yeah.
like that. Like,
Jeez, this poor car.
yeah. But I mean, he's rolling so well. The car is still kind of functioning. You
Yeah.
know, like it's not dead yet.
Hey, my family has the best used source at dealership in Sharn.
Yeah, so everyone else kind of is following through the glass, and you see this form of this fake Victor who is kind of slightly shorter than Victor, not by much, but kind of slightly shorter, slightly thinner. And they have this like again this dark metal claw on their arm. They just kind of are recovering when you all get up there. So what do you do?
I go, Vic, you take the left. I'll go right. And
Yeah, so he splits off and with his cane held high in the air. He doesn't have any other weapons.
I like that Victor is actually like pretty brave after as much fun as we made him. So yeah, and I'm gonna take another shot with my crossbow.
Okay.
Like a point blank shot? Where are you at?
I mean, I'm running towards the guy, and I'm going towards his right. I sent Victor towards the left because the claw was on the guy's right hand, and so if he's going left,
Oh,
he's facing
smart.
us.
Yeah.
Victor's going towards the gross claw. Smart.
I'm sure Keegan is taking all of that into account.
Good to know.
Oh, no.
Snake eyes.
Snake eyes.
Yeah, I failed that crossbow.
Yeah.
Crossbow check.
So what's the total for that? 4?
Yeah, that's
5?
4.
Okay.
So there's not like a nat fail in this, FYI.
No. No.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So as you and Victor like start to fan out and separate, the claw moves very quickly as you like start to what's that?
Experience. I just marked it for my failure earlier, and I was reminding her.
Yeah, thank you for. I was really forgetting about that. So as you and Victor split off to kind of like tag team this, the claw moves very, very quickly, and as you're kind of loading the crossbow, like before we even get it out, the claw moves in front of you and holds up that claw, and you see like the inside of it, like there's this little like exhaust port or something like that. There's a little hole, and you kind of hear like turning and twisting and clicking in place as you see these red runes kind of light up along the palm of the fixture. What? And then just fire spews out in this cone.
They're fighting Iron Man.
This cone of fire catching both you and Victor for 3 harm fire.
Oh,
does my armor help me at all?
It is magic, so no.
Yikes.
Are you dead?
This is a burning hands spell.
Yeah, basically. When you said cone, I was kind of
a 15-foot cone of fire.
Luckily, Helen was hanging back.
So Victor's purple coat like just bursts into flames, and then he kind of like just like takes it off and throws it on the ground, and like he's burned and stuff like that. He's trying to knock it out. How's Frank looking?
He has 1 health left.
Remember, you can spend luck to reduce harm to 0 for that. So like you would take 0 harm. So if you want to do that, we can do that.
Also, you can die.
Like if you're 1 away, it might be worth it.
Yeah, all right, I'll go ahead and do that. I was gonna try and heal myself, but yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
So that's a luck. Ooh.
Yeah. So the fiery cone spreads out. So how does Frank avoid that, or how does he get out of the way, or what happens to that he takes no harm?
I think that he ducks behind one of those big glass things, and it starts like melting in front of him.
Yeah, like it starts melting, and like it like grows red with heat.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh no, and then like the fire runs out, and there's no glass anymore, and I'm like,
Yeah, you're kind of left standing there like, Okay. So the claw starts to move towards a far side wall away from everyone else. What do you want to do?
I mean, I can shoot at him again.
I'm gonna throw another throwing knife as I run up because I'm so good at that.
Okay, well, who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
You just did something. What the? Right.
13.
Okay.
I don't want you to get a dagger thrown back into your shoulder again.
Fair.
I mean, he's only got like 1 arm.
I've got 3, actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
I had 1 lingering. I cut myself on the glass and I got
right.
stuck with a dagger.
That's right. Okay. So how much harm does that crossbow do?
2.
Okay. And you get an extra effect for the kick some ass on a +10. So what do you want that to be?
Oh, yeah.
The extra effect.
I do have a bigger bow, but I think in the enclosed confines, so I didn't think it would make sense to use.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where is it? It's on here.
Is it like Paxton's probably like dazed as he like crashed into so it's like a reverse shot of like all these things happening behind him as he's kind of like coming together.
I'm, like clambering out of the soar sled, like dazed.
He like dropped his crossbow bolt like in the well, like by the gas pedals. Like, oh, come on.
Do we want to do an extra? Okay, so here's the things that I can do. I can take +1 going forward and give that to someone else. I can inflict terrible harm, which is another point of damage to him, so doing 3. I could suffer less harm, which in this case is I'm fine. Or I can force them where I want them. So I can make them stop running, potentially.
Or something else even, if you have other ideas. Yeah, so they're seemingly clamoring towards another wall, seemingly to take advantage of whatever they can do where they run up the walls and the ceilings.
Yeah. Okay, here's the thought. Can that bolt go through his foot and into the floor so that he can't use his magic boots and he's stuck there? That would force him where I want him, which is not on my head.
We can do a version of that, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I think so. I'm down for that. So unlike the last time where it kind of bounced off, seemingly whatever, because as it's moving and as you see beneath the clothing, this person is wearing some serious plated armor. Not necessarily like the typical plated armor is super heavy, but it's light and it's flexible and it's like heavy duty stuff.
Mithril.
Mithril. But this time the bolt actually does find purchase in like seemingly like some in between the plates or the weaving and like pierces through like the Achilles heel basically.
Okay.
And puncture also like
Good job,
a little bit into the floor of the attic itself. So it kind of like pins them down real quick. And they're struggling to like pull it out or kind of like reposition themselves. What do you want to do? someone.
So do they seem pretty distracted? Kind of.
Yeah, I mean they're distracted trying to like pull the bolt out of their foot and get themselves free.
Okay.
They're kind of pinned down right now.
I'm gonna run up. I mean, I assume they're running away from us, so their back would have been to us.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I'm gonna run up behind him and try to garrote him.
Okay. Okay. Hardcore.
Christ.
Would that potentially give me a +1 situation there?
I think so. They're immobile. They're
Sweet, bringing it up to 0. All right.
Yeah.
So is he trying to cut his throat? Is that,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
I mean, well, and it's also a way to like.
just a gentle.
It's also a grapple of sorts, which would be useful in our situation.
Do you have piano wire, Hitman?
I have
a gentle garrote.
a garrote.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So you actually have one of those. Okay.
Yeah.
That's badass and disturbing. Yeah. So go for it.
It's like it's on the sheet. That's what I got.
Yeah, and that is relevant in fantasy. So
Yeah, fantasy garrote.
Fantasy
Yes.
Play that.
That is a 9 with my 0.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Yeah. So how much harm does that garrote deal?
3.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's honestly okay. No complaints from player or
I'd say I was
DM.
wondering because I don't remember. I was wondering what kind of direction they were going to go with that. I was like, yeah,
Yeah,
because I imagine it has like the intimate tag.
Yeah, it's,
because you're like right up on them.
yeah, it's 3 harm intimate. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So you wrap it around what looks like Victor's neck and start to pull and
And I'm just
twist
having
and,
every fantasy of yes, I've always wanted to kill Victor. No, like, no. Take that, Victor.
right.
So he's got extra strength.
Again, not necessarily trying to kill this person. I don't know. I mean, again, I'm just
You
thinking.
could have fooled me.
Not trying to kill them with
I'm just
my
thinking-
spiky wire.
I guess I'm thinking like in D&D, like, you can choose to knock someone out.
He's
or-
applying pressure to their jugular with a knife.
yeah. No, I mean,
Knife.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's
you're not doing that quite yet.
Okay.
Especially because you have a mixed success here.
Oh, right, true.
So, I'm trying to think what would be the coolest thing.
Please do the coolest thing, Keegan.
Yeah.
Our viewership depends on it.
Yeah, so I think we're just gonna do this. So as you're kind of attempting to choke this individual, eventually they're trying to like fight you off and trying to get the bolt out of their leg, and they eventually do like manage to just like the bolt just like breaks and it's stuck in their leg, but they kind of get to their feet and manage to kind of like get a little bit of a sway and like bring their claw up and just slash it across you.
I don't like that.
So you take 2 harm.
Well, I'm unstable.
And then at that point, the claw like pivots and attempts to, well, I mean, not attempts to, this is a mixed success. So they pivot around you and then bring the claw up around your throat and kind of like hold you.
That's what I was trying to do.
Yeah, sorry.
Are you both holding each other's necks?
No, they basically Howin is now the claw's hostage.
So where was his success in this?
He did 3 harm.
Okay.
But then they like broke loose of my garage. I guess when they slashed. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It's a bit of a hard move. but yeah.
While he's distractedly grabbing him by the throat, can I put a crossbow against the back of his head?
Well, let's say it's like the claw's basically holding Howin in front
between
of
us
you. Yeah,
now?
like a
Okay.
hostage right now. Like the claw up to his throat and just kind of like standing there waiting to see what someone does.
How big is the claw?
He's smaller than Victor.
It's slightly smaller, so
Comparatively, like, give me like a height and a weight.
And a shoe size.
maybe like
What's his wingspan?
5'11" or something like that.
Okay, so he's
but
slightly...
on the thinner side. So
All right, I know what I'm gonna do.
That was super crucial.
right,
all I needed.
that's all I needed.
Yep.
So what do you want to do? Like I said, this thing is
gotta
holding
fit him for a
Howin as
suit.
kind of as a hostage.
I hate you, Red. Okay, so while all that was happening, I managed to get my bearings out of the soar sled.
Right.
I see Uncle Howin go up for the garrote choke.
Yeah.
I was very concerned.
Yeah, and this is the kind of thing where you've kind of also been a little bit separated from everyone else, so
Right.
like you have like a different vantage point, and,
Right.
like you're not noticed necessarily.
So from my vantage point, what's just happened is he grabbed Uncle Howen off and is like holding him between him and Uncle Frank.
Yes.
But his back is to me.
Maybe. What do you want to do?
I want to charge and shoulder slam him like we would in lacrosse. I want to do
lacrosse skills.
A shoulder tackle.
Okay.
You're just incorporating that wherever you can. I love it.
I'm
character.
I'm down for that. So again, the same question: is the intent to hurt the claw or to separate him and them from Howen?
I imagine I would have started the charge before he technically had Howen as a prisoner. Mm-hmm. So just sometime along the way, I just saw his back to me. I started charging.
Okay.
And so, I'm just going to try to knock him over and or hurt him.
Okay, I think kick some ass is appropriate here.
Okay.
It's just a shoulder charge, so it's going to be one harm, but you could have the opportunity, depending on the roll, to do something else.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't know he's holding him, but that might be the byproduct of this is separation.
Yeah.
All right, and I have +1 tough, so that is a 3 + 1, which is a 4.
There's a 4.
So it's not good, I would imagine.
Again, luck's a thing, but we've burned a lot of luck this episode already.
Yeah, Keegan's making it difficult on us.
I mean,
I
say that's not really Keegan's fault, but do mark experience unless you want to bump it up with luck.
No, I'll take an experience.
Thanks.
Okay, so for the complete failure, you get your experience. I think it's just like these like big lumbering charging footsteps the claw kind of hears from behind, and like the creaking floor of this old chapel.
I gear myself up like a rhino, like I just like thwap my foot on the ground, kicking up dust.
Yeah. But I think in some ways, I think it's a total failure, but I have something else in mind. So he does actually, the claw, they do let go of Howen, and as they kind of see you come from behind, they kind of throw him forward and kind of come around to you and kind of like basically spin and kind of like judo throw you.
Oh no.
Like judo throw you down to the ground, and then they like punch you in the chest, but it's not like a harmful punch. They punch you in the chest and then they leave something there, and you hear a click, and there's just this rod on your chest right now holding you in place. So it's this little silver rod that has on the end of it like a horse.
The immovable rod
and it's
thing.
just floating in place, and it is holding you there on your chest.
So I can't move.
Correct.
No, but do I still have free will of my limbs?
Yes.
I just can't get up?
Yes, you do. You have free use of your limbs, but this thing is just holding you in place right now.
That's so
I
cool.
activate my trap card.
All right, Yu-Gi-Oh!
I was still holding my crossbow.
Okay, sure.
So can I fire at him?
Sure.
Like at his shin.
Yeah.
It's at him, somewhere.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Totally.
Right into his groin.
That's better. That's a kick some ass roll, right? That's a 10.
10. Okay. Right. So how much harm does that crossbow do?
It's 2 damage.
Okie dokie.
And you get to choose an extra effect.
You do have an extra thing, and I think that do you still have a hold from that old move that you did?
No, because I use that to...
you get 1 or 2 hold.
You got 2, and he
it
only
says
needed
hold
1.
2, yeah.
So yeah.
I'm going to inflict +1 harm then.
Okay, so another harm, and then you get an extra effect on the kick some ass move for your +10.
What does that mean?
Which is on your other sheet. The basic moves. It should be the
so you can take a +1
first one on the
forward.
left. Kick some ass on a 10+. You get another one of those. So another one could be to do more harm.
I'm gonna give +1 to Uncle Frank because he needs some help.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So this individual is very, very hurt right now. So yeah, it was a very good shot. Just kind of luckily, just pulling out the crossbow and just.
Where did it hit him? I sprayed and prayed. Where did it?
Where do you want?
I want to say it like
sprayed and pray.
Yeah, I want to say like I want to say like reactionary as he slammed me into the ground. Like I kind of put my hands up, and when I did, I just accidentally pulled the trigger and like hit him somewhere in the head. Maybe not like a lethal shot.
Sure, yeah, maybe just like grazes across like the skull and the ear. And as that fires and then kind of grazes the individual, you see their face flicker for a moment, and you see just this gray, kind of somewhat ambiguously gendered face with these white eyes and this white hair flowing down.
Changeling.
I think it stays like that. I think that the illusion is dropped, and then it's just this changeling individual with this gray skin, white hair, and this thin form. It's kind of like reels back from this shot, and then like it's kind of dazed and kind of not sure what to do right now.
I'm gonna aim my crossbow at him and I'm gonna say, "Hands up and step away from my nephew."
I am going to. Can you read me the tags on your crossbow real quick?
I mean, it's
I think
9mm.
what are the tags on the 9mm? I'm pretty sure reload is going to be one of them.
No, it just says to harm close loud.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang. Okay, cool.
And if it's a 9mm, how many rounds would that be? I mean,
It depends.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
Keegan, I'm sorry. I had to
okay.
rewind real quick. How much damage did I take for the judo slam?
None.
None?
You're just stuck.
It was just
Okay.
to put you in place.
Good to know.
But yeah, okay, cool. I just figured there would be a reload, but it makes sense for a 9mm.
I'm going to hold it up and I'm going to
Not
say,
for a crossbow.
Right, not so
I'm gonna
much.
say, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, does he need to reload? But let me ask you something.
Do you feel lucky?
Do you feel lucky?
That's amazing.
Yes. From the play, right?
Yeah, right.
What play was that from?
From the play Dirty Harry.
Dirty Harold.
Dirty Harold.
Filthy Harold.
Filthy Harold.
Right,
It's about
legally
a bard.
distinct, yeah. So you're faced there with the form of this changeling who Paxton is like pressed into the ground and he's kind of probably flailing and trying to get up, but he's stuck in place. They're kind of frozen. They have their claw, and it's just kind of like the parts on the wrist and the forearm are kind of like turning and twisting and kind of just like on its own. And you see a little bit of like green liquid kind of like pulse across the claws and kind of start to drop onto the ground.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
I'm going to say, let's talk about this. I'm not the world's greatest detective, but I'm pretty sure you're the Claw. And for the record, Victor, we found him first.
Victor's like in the corner, like stomping on his coat that's on fire.
And I'm like, and that one's just like rolled over enough to see that it's a changeling, and he's like, called it. Changeling, called it.
There's a very long silence, a very tense silence after you say that. But eventually the claw does say, "What could you possibly want from me to let me out of here?"
Listen, I'm not an executioner. I'm just a detective trying to solve a case. No one else has to die here tonight.
I'm going to need you to roll to manipulate someone. So manipulate plus charm.
Ooh.
That's a 5.
Experience.
Yeah, mark and experience.
Yeah, I don't think I get anything for trying to resolve something without my fist for once. Sure.
So apparently Uncle Frank is not a negotiator. Not a good one.
That would be my deal.
Yeah, so kind of after that silence and after a brief stare down, this changeling kind of looks around and this says, "We all have people to answer to, and this all can't end tonight."
How far does this go? Tell me.
Howland just from the ground is like, "Is it Kilk?"
That's a good question. They kind of glance down at you quickly, and that kind of like spooks them in a way. Like it kind of like, so their eyes kind of shoot around, and as a part of Frank's failure, they kind of like quickly hold their claw up to the ceiling, and the hand detaches and shoots up to the rooftop and pulls them up through the roof, crashing up into the night above, and they are gone.
Man,
Oh.
I didn't get to tell the elaborate lie I was just forming. The good news is, it seems we have an immovable rod now. If we can get it off of
This is like really heavy, guys.
I look at Victor, I go, lots of help you were.
I was gonna help. I was just on the way over.
For the record, this is exactly why I don't do this. And I'm like very much
Yeah, I walk
unstable.
over and I help him up and sort of dust him off, and then together we walk over towards Paxton. I go, how you doing down there, bud?
I have free will of my limbs, but I can't get up.
That's exactly how you're doing.
That is accurate. Yes.
Hey, you were very brave.
It's a little hard to breathe. Thank you.
Yeah, you were very brave. I'm very proud of you, bud. We're going to try and figure out how to operate this rod.
Is there a button on it or anything? Mm-hmm. I press the button.
It explodes.
We all die.
The button disengages the rod, and you can lift it up freely.
Gonna pocket that one.
Yeah.
I am going to that green ooze that oozed on the floor.
Yeah.
I'm going to scoop it up, and we're going to see if we can take it to someone who can divine where they're from.
You guys are always scooping up ooze.
I love scooping up ooze.
Scooping ooze.
Scooping ooze.
Ooze and finding clues.
There's a little bit that you can
Scooping ooze and finding clues. I'm sorry. That's brilliant, though. Branding opportunity number 2.
Yeah, we'll think about that. You're able to get a little bit of that acid that a lot of it has burned into the ground, but you're able to scoop up a little bit of that ooze. Mark, did you just write down the immovable rod?
I did.
Okay. Just one thing to note is that it can hold up to 8,000 pounds of weight.
Oh my God.
Good, because I might exceed that.
Sure. I mean, just in case, it's something you...
If you're falling, you could it out and land on it.
Yeah, or in case you needed to hold something back that was charging or really
Can
heavy or
apply
something like
that much force.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, just in case.
How long is it?
How like physically long is it?
Yeah.
Probably just a little over a foot.
Oh, it's pretty
between
small.
a foot or two.
Okay.
Something around there.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So does anyone else want to do anything in this attic? There's just a bunch of shattered glass.
Is there any, since this is sort of his lair, are there any books,
Notes,
journals, paperwork, pictures?
Sending stones.
A big poster that says the mastermind behind it all.
Yeah.
Kilk, and with a very accurate picture.
Detailed correspondences, named, dated,
Emails.
signatures.
So many
A
emails.
floppy disk with the names of every agent on it.
Paper trail. Yeah.
Floppy disk.
Not quite. The room itself is pretty clean, except for like the basic necessities needed to live in. But what you do find behind is seemingly during the scuffle, you do find what Howland saw is that earring that the claw was wearing.
Right, the earring.
Silver earring with this dangling black stone at the end of it.
Is it magical?
Is it an opal? It sounded kind of like an opal.
It
like
is
a type of opal.
Not quite. I mean, it might be like a purplish, like a dark purplish, but it has these red lights going through it, like these red veins going through it. If anything, it looks closer to a dragon shard that you've seen in the past. Stones like this are typically denoted as kyber dragon shards.
Can I wear it as a trophy?
You do have earrings.
Yeah.
If you want to.
I want to wear it as my trophy.
Well, I mean, we can use it to actually get useful information.
I'm hoping it lets me change faces.
Again, the individual was a change.
No, I like this. Put it in. See what happens.
I press on it. What's my face look like now?
Oh, Paxton, is that you?
Yeah. Yes.
Who's this old man?
I'm old. Am I really old?
How are there 2 Howlands right now?
Oh, I did it.
It's not working just
Damn it.
Does Paxton know anything about the world?
No. Not at all.
Do you know anything about magic relics?
Well, I just meant the fact that changeling could change was because they're a changeling.
That's fair. Yes.
I do look around the room. I'm like, all right, fellas, we need to get to a clinic of some sort.
For sure.
Yeah, I have some ouchies.
Vic, you still need some help too, huh?
He's like, actually, I think I kind of came out of this pretty good. Got a little singed, but
Screw you.
Yeah, you probably could have given a little help.
What are you gonna do?
Well, I know for one thing, you probably won't be telling us we work any more kitty joke mysteries, huh?
Well, you got me there. This thing was for real.
Yeah.
The ooze monster, not so much still, but this one,
Hey, that ooze monster ate a lot of people.
yeah, but it was kind of funny, right?
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
Hello, bleeding profusely.
All right, fine.
Go to the hospital.
Does this thing still work?
My soar sled? Yeah. I feel like it's got one more. I feel like it's got one last ride in it.
I agree. I think the shot is like you pull into like the medical area, but it is literally like smoking, and it just dies when you get there.
It's like it's still 3 feet off the ground, and it just hits the ground.
Just crashes down onto the ground from 3 feet up. You're gonna have to call like some sort of towing service to come get it or something.
We own a soar sled dealership.
Right outside of the House Jurasco healing center or something like that.
Is Clovis there?
I was gonna say this is like someone like you see kind of like comes out the front door of the center, and it's Clovis, who you talk to at the beginning of this mystery, and says, "Wow, looks like a pretty rough night."
We'll talk, but first, the bleeding.
All right.
Good news, bad news situation. Good news, we found the claw. Bad news, he beat us up and got away.
Also, bad news, the bleeding.
Wow. Well, I mean, I think you guys are some of the first to have survived, so let's go ahead and get you in there. I'm sure there are some people that'd like to talk to you.
Oh,
I'm just
We
like, I'm
love
just
to talk.
walking through the door. Like, I'm just walking right past.
Yeah, for sure.